sight. Deep Pasquale is up high and wide. It'll be slippery out there. You've got to stay away from those curves. But Feni has blasted into the distance at turn 2.
And on the racing line on the outside, Will Brown had a massive amount of wheel spin. Now, Feni almost went off then. Feni almost went off the road, and that's why Brown's alongside him.
The squeeze is on into the braking area, and that was a costly moment for him after a ripping start through 1, but he was too hot and heavy into turn 2, and it was slippery out there. It's the fringes of the racetrack that have got to be managed.
Absolutely. So when he got wide at turn 2, he almost went off the road and cost himself about 4 or 5 car lengths. Will Brown now right in behind him, and on the outside of the road down there where Cam Waters is, off the road goes David Reynolds, exactly on the edge of the road you spoke of.
Kostecki and Waters are
Mike Randall. We're on the
Waters
lane,
race wide. So he's out on that concrete verge. So Reynolds makes a mistake into 4. The battle is on here. Look at Wood down the inside. And he's got Kai Allen trying to get into this. And in fact, they've got past. So nice work. How's this? Oh, you do not want to have 2 in the dirt down there. And so he returns serve, Kai Allen. Will Brown gets a little bit of hip and shoulder in the process and drops it down into 4th position. Unbelievable battle for position number 2. Feni off the hook for the moment.
Big moment there with Kai Allen and Ryan Wood. And to give Kai Allen credit there, he was not giving that away. He absolutely held his ground. 2 young blokes going for it at this venue. That was wild because the water off the edge of the road there, if they go into the grass, they go in the tyre wall.
Ryan Wood up on the outside at turn 3 from 250 kilometres an hour. They're racing hard. They do not want to drop a spot. They don't fully have tyre tempered pressure at the moment. The rubbing is on. Into turn 4, the viewpoint from Will Brown's car, the reigning champion. Feeds it a gear. I think he went back to 2nd for the left-hander here. We've seen them using higher gears on occasion. Line astern in position number 4 with Cooper Murray right in his wheel tracks. And Waters is talking about a lock-up moment as well. The point that I was going to make before Andre came in was there's 5 bonus points for the fastest lap. And the fastest lap at the moment's gone to Feni. He's done a 12.1. He's got 2.2 seconds in hand as we check out the replay. It was a master blaster start for Feni. Just dropped the clutch, converted the energy, not a lot of wheel spin, grabbing gears, and could choose where he wanted to be on the racetrack.
It was very nice. A lot of wheel spin for Will Brown to the 2nd phase at the start. Now, this is where he almost went off. So we were just on board with then. He was almost off the road, and that's when Will was able to capitalise. Have a look at the drama down here. So you got Cam down the inside of Kostecki, who's trying to get down the inside of Cam Hill with the new livery on his car, and then and almost then into the back of Aaron Cameron in the middle of turn 3. So it was very, very lively.
And the incident between cars 20 and 55 has been noted as well between Reynolds and for Thomas Randall. So something weird went on down there at turn 4. So stewards will take a look at that, and the driving standards advisor Craig Baird. We're still looking at the replay, and here's what happened to Reynolds running wide down there on the fringes of the racetrack. Was able to scramble back on, thankfully.
Oh, I think he actually got bumped off the road there with Randall. Yeah, so Randall was into the back of David Reynolds. And then there was a bit of push and shove here coming off turn 5. That was Kostecki up the inside of Cam Waters. The edge of the road, as you pointed out earlier, was really treacherous. And then there was this big move that ended up with Kai Allen making 2 spots. He was able to get by Will Brown, and then all this on the main straight. I'm really praiseworthy for Kai Allen to stay with that.
There's Waters, and that's now the explanation as to why I heard the call on the radio in the background. So that's toured him the long way round to deal with that.
But on the last lap, Feni with a 10.3 plays Allen with a 10.7, Ryan Wood with a 10.6, Will Brown with a 10.5, and Brodie Kostecki was the fastest car other than Brock Feni then with a 10.46.
That's a relaxed racing driver you're looking at there, who's on top of his game, and that car's working pretty nicely at the moment. 9 of the last 12 races have fallen in his favour. So he's got momentum on his side as we pick up Cam Hill, 8th at the moment. He's behind Cooper Murray, just in front of Aaron Cameron. Century Batteries drone cam, awesome shots, giving us a real thorough understanding of the shape and radius of these turns.
I'm going to dig into that a little bit later in the Hutto Hub, but right now I just want to have a look at this right at the start. This is two young men doing just an outstanding job.
And here he comes. So this looks like loaded side tyres only.
Perfect, mate. On and running. Go.
Yep, that's great stop. Well done.
Cold left side, cold left.
So left-hand side tyres for Ryan Wood.
Slightly more challenging entry for Burkett because of the positioning of the Stanaway car. So when he arrived and stopped, he was on the angle, and he's had to yield Nick Burkett and tuck in behind on departure.
Now, I thought I saw more than the loaded side tyres being done for Burkett then too, Neil. Maybe he did rears. We'll just find out what's going on there. And we were talking before about the strategy around those front runners. Kai Allen now has to come in and cover Ryan Wood. So he's on the way in there now. So he's sort of said that was going to unfold. Now we're seeing it live.
Kai Allen, Cooper Murray coming into the pit lane. The other important thing to underline here, remember when we left Townsville several weeks ago, Ryan Wood had just crept into the top 10 in the championship.
Yep.
He wants to consolidate that. So, I mean, you're always going to be playing for your best possible result as Thomas Randall wanders in.
There you go.
But there's extra importance on trying to continue to go northbound in that field, because from the end of this weekend, we're into the Enduro Cup.
So there you go. So he's got out in front, but he's obviously got cold tyres on, so you'll find that Ryan will make a little bit more ground on this lap. So a little move on the way into turn 4 here. Sometimes you can do the crisscross, as Courtney does a nice job down the inside of Andre Heimgartner. Sometimes if you just run a little bit wide off turn 4, driver can turn back and get up the inside for turn 5, but Andre wasn't able to do that. This is also another new shot and gives you a real driver's eye view. You can see there, 5th gear, and then brakes the car hard into turn 1, just the bumps that you were just talking about, then slides it up onto the exit curb, and then a really slow, methodical braking into turn 2. Like
Scaife, yes, Brock Feni comes in. I'm going to predict this guy's going to go on to greatness. Bit of you and Lowndes and Van Gisbergen, McLaughlin. He's doing everything right. We'll talk about it in a minute. But you watch this. On the mark, bang. Now watch this. This tyre here, look at that. How clever is that? They parked that tyre up on top of the spare, so it's easy to grab on the right on the way past. Very, very clever. Great stops. But I just wanted to say, Brock Feni as he exits, I look at his data on super soft versus soft, he's the top of the tree. On qualifying versus racing, he's near the top of the tree. His eclectic laps, he's the top of the tree. We saw what he just did in the wet. We saw what he does on the pit stops. When they drop the car and get off the mark, all of the little 1%ers, all of them, he's doing them better than everybody. He's out laps, he's in laps. They're the signs of greatness.
So we call it the rolling speed, so that momentum of having those 4 tyres on, being able to drive them around the corner.
Excuse me, sorry, Mark. There's a huge off down here at turn 6 with David Reynolds all locked up. I just looked up and saw him spearing down there, and he's well buried. That could trigger the safety car. And we've got Mostert in the weeds as well. So all of a sudden things have erupted. Sorry to step on you.
No, were they together when that happened?
No, I don't. I literally just was looking at some paperwork, looked up and saw, yeah, clearly, and then I saw David in this gigantic lock-up down there.
How is that?
This changes the complexion.
7,
Voice of
6,
David Stewart,
5,
Deputy Race Director in the
4,
background. Calling
3,
the
2,
speed,
1. Safety car limit is activated.
which means they've got to be at 80 kilometres an hour. And so that just freezes the cars in their current position.
3 laps remaining
Oh,
now. 3 laps remaining
they've been
now.
lucky with Will Davison there, because you get a bit of a free kick on your stop, but you've got 15 seconds to serve.
Stephen and Brendan Grove, Penrite Racing team owners.
How is that happen?
Seriously, I looked up and there was just nothing but a smoke signal coming from the tradie entry. It's just out the right-hand side, the com boxes. Here's Will to take not only his stop, but serve his 15-second penalty, which, as Mark pointed out, he gets off the hook a little bit for this one. So here's what's happened. Oh, so it's just a gigantic lockup. Oh, so it didn't involve Moss. Chaz has got his own thing going.
What's happened there, but that's just a massive lockup. Oh, it's oil. It's oil. It's oil all down the circuit there. That's what it is. Yeah. Yes, so you can see that massive big oil trail on the right-hand side.
So that begs the question, who deposited that? He has had a monster off down there.
And there's Mostert spinning on it in behind.
So I wonder which one of these jalopies has left all that oil all over the road. James Courtney hustling down the inside here of James Golding on the exit of turn 3. And he's just finished him off by making sure that he doesn't have too much oxygen on the exit of the turn.
Okay, safety car is coming in. You'll stay now.
So is this a 100-metre challenge?
How'd you go in the old days? So Feni, Allen, Wood, that's going to be our podium. Will Brown's probably slightly frustrated by all of that because, you know, this is a car that started on the front row of the grid. Strategy play was to stick 4 tyres on it, and then fate intervenes and ruins that party.
Awesome work. Perfect drive. Fastest lap points as well.
Didn't have to say a word.
Yeah, done. Very good summary.
My job is done. Well, Mark Larkham did a nice job in executive summary a little bit earlier in the broadcast, just walking through all of the different things that he's achieving on the way to this success at the moment. It's been very impressive for a young fellow. So congratulations, Brock Feni, home by a tiny margin. Didn't matter in the end because it was the safety car that controlled that from Kai Allen, from Ryan Wood. That is our podium. Will Brown off the front row back into position 4. He'll grind his teeth a little bit on that one. Followed by Brodie Kostecki, Cooper Murray, Cam Hill, Anton Di Pasquale, Aaron Cameron, Thomas Randall gets into the top 10.